Williams star Carlos Sainz could be on course for a shock Ferrari comeback, as he is currently the favourite to step in as Lewis Hamilton's successor for the 2026 Formula One season. If Ferrari struggles with Hamilton continue, an insider says that both sides may agree to call it quits at the end of 2025. Sainz, of course, was the driver pushed aside to make room for Hamilton's blockbuster switch from Mercedes to Ferrari. At the time, it was a move that shook the sport. But 14 races into his Ferrari adventure, Hamilton is still chasing his first podium in red. Carlos Sainz has not shied away from reflecting on the sting of being ousted by Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari, especially after believing he was on the verge of signing fresh terms at Maranello for 2025 and beyond. During his 4-year tenure with the Scuderia, Sainz delivered all 4 of his Formula One career victories, including 2 impressive wins in 2024 after already being told Hamilton would take his place. Speaking on the High Performance podcast, Sainz admitted that the news came as a bit shocking, revealing just how blindsided he felt when Ferrari opted to replace him with the 7-time world champion. He said, "I think it was around end of January or early February in 2024. I was in the middle of my training preparation for the 2024 season. I was hopeful that the Ferrari was going to be a competitive car. I had done everything in December and January, obviously, to prepare myself for that season. Contract negotiations with Ferrari were a bit stalled in a weird way because we were talking since October to renew my contract. They kept postponing the point of signing and the point of coming to an agreement, but I never felt suspicious, and I never felt like it was not going to happen, because every feedback that I was getting was, we're going to continue, for sure. This is just going to take only a couple hours to agree to the economic side of things, and the 2 or 3 things we need to agree on your future contract. But it's going to be an easy contract, and we will do it very quickly." And I was like, okay. So I just went into the winter with that mentality of, it will get sorted before race 1 of the 2024 season. And suddenly, in the middle of January, end of January, I receive a phone call, and they suddenly tell me the news. I heard from a friend that called me. I was completely shocked. I went from believing I was going to be in Ferrari for a while to suddenly Lewis is replacing me and thinking, what am I going to do now? It never occurred to me that could happen, and it was a bit shocking. Meanwhile, Sainz hasn't exactly flourished in his new environment either. Driving for Williams, his best finish has been 8th place, and he's already staring at a 38-point deficit to teammate Alex Albon. When Hamilton swapped Mercedes silver for Ferrari red, neither side revealed the fine print on contract length, branding it simply a multi-year deal. Behind the curtain, though, the agreement is believed to run through the end of 2026, with fresh reports out of Italy suggesting Hamilton holds a powerful ace, a unilateral option to extend his stay until 2027. Performance be damned. For former FIA steward Johnny Herbert, Hamilton's recent hints of unrest at Ferrari set off alarm bells. In his view, those comments could pave the way for an amicable split as early as the close of 2025, opening the door for Carlos Sainz to stage a sensational return alongside Charles Leclerc. Sainz inked a multi-year contract with Williams covering 2025 and 2026, but he might not be locked in as tightly as it seems. Williams was forced to swat down speculation last year that his deal contains a handy escape clause should a top-tier team come knocking. Herbert, who has already dismissed the notion of Max Verstappen trading Red Bull for Ferrari, told a gambling platform, "When Hamilton said things are going on behind the scenes, I'm not sure what that meant. One way of reading it is that there has been talk already about changing the driver. Is that something that's already been spoken about? Maybe it's been mentioned if things don't get better, you need to get yourself in a position where you've got the next driver ready for next year." Maybe Hamilton and Ferrari, are both saying that if it doesn't work, the time is here, the time has come, to part ways. I don't think it would be Verstappen, chosen to replace Hamilton. It could be one of the younger drivers, I guess. But I saw a little interview with Carlos Sainz, and when asked if he would go back to Ferrari, he replied, "Yeah, maybe." Carlos was doing an absolutely brilliant job and was really keeping Charles under control. He's still young, he's still doing a good job, even if he's struggling with Williams a bit. But we know how good he was when he was at Ferrari. Ferrari head into the 2025 summer break in desperate need of a reset after a maddening first half of the season. Despite sitting second in the constructors' standings, the Maranello squad remain the only team inside the top four yet to taste victory this year. Their 5 podiums, all courtesy of Charles Leclerc, are little consolation for a team of Ferrari's stature. Hungary looked set to deliver that win when Leclerc stuck it on pole. But McLaren's relentless pace and a bungled strategy call left Leclerc limping home in 4th, with the Monegasque visibly furious and reportedly needing to be calmed before exploding in the media pen. It's been the same story all season long. An SF25 that can't find the right balance, combined with race strategies that crumble under pressure. Still, Leclerc has managed to wrestle results out of the car, stacking up 5 podiums so far. Lewis Hamilton, however, has endured a far rougher ride. The 7-time world champion is still searching for his first Ferrari podium, with only a sprint win in Shanghai breaking up a campaign of frustration. Things hit rock bottom in Budapest, where he started and finished 12th, before openly suggesting Ferrari might be better off replacing him altogether. Ferrari aren't brushing aside Lewis Hamilton's stinging remarks, but there's little sign they'll act on them either. What his comments do underline is the mountain of work still looming in Maranello, with Juan Pablo Montoya suggesting the team is finally starting to realize the scale of the problem. Speaking to AS Colombia, the former F1 star claimed Ferrari are aware their foundation simply isn't strong enough, leaving both Hamilton and Charles Leclerc wrestling with an unpredictable machine. I really think it's not a question of age. It's a question of Hamilton spending many years driving a certain type of car and a certain type of feeling. And the Ferrari was completely different, and the Ferrari is not an easy car to drive. And I think Ferrari is realizing that what they have, their foundation, is not good. It's an unpredictable car, a complicated car, and they have to step back a bit from what they're doing because what they're doing isn't going to work for them. With Ferrari now at risk of surrendering second place in the championship, should they start applying Lewis Hamilton's feedback to their cars? Why don't you tell me in the comments? And if you haven't, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for the latest in the world of Formula One. Thanks for watching.